I'm John Schramm. I'm the founder of the Purple Guys. Started the company in October of 2001, which, if you remember what was going on in October of 2001, not the real optimum time to start a business. My goal was to serve small and mid-sized businesses with outsourced technology support. Had a lot of fun with that. It took me a little while to figure out that what we really did was customer service, and it happened to have a technology fit. So I started hiring people that were more customer service oriented, who also had the technical skills, and that really allowed us to grow. So why, if we already had a strong brand, do we reach out to Kansas City Web Design? So as I grew, again, founder, CEO, president of the company, I was also the marketing guy, and I like playing with that stuff. But again, as you grow a company and scale, you've actually got to replace yourself with almost every hat you wear. So one of the things I did was look to outsource or get that off of my plate. I did hire a full-time person to be inside my four walls to kind of be a marketing coordinator. And then I actually worked with a couple of different firms before I worked with Kansas City Web Design. So, and they were good in different areas, but I have pretty high standards, and the Purple Guys was a pretty strong brand, and I was managing the Google AdWords and our SEO previously, so I knew what my baseline was. And return on investment is a huge thing for me. So I could calculate what was, and then the additional spend of an outsourced firm, plus the different campaigns they were running, and I just wasn't getting what I wanted to get from other firms. I was actually getting way less of an ROI than I was getting previously. And again, I knew I was gonna have to spend a little more to go to an outsourced third party, but I expected the results to go up, and the results just weren't going up. So I went through a couple of those different firms. And they had good concepts, but what I was really looking for was leveraging my website, creating inbound leads. I'd hired full-time salespeople. I wanted to feed them some warm leads, and I wasn't getting what I wanted to get. So I looked to Kansas City Web Design. And I will tell you, Phil and his team made it a no-brainer. They don't ask for a year commitment. And psychologically, I was committed for 6 months, because you've got to give anything several months to see how it's going to work and really give it a chance to play out. Within 90 days, I knew I made the right choice. When you can measure the return on investment of what you're putting into marketing, if it's working, you just pour gasoline on it. You can just keep doing more of it. And when we got acquired, sold the company to a group that was going national. So Phil and his team actually helped grow the Purple Guys brand in other markets where we had never been. So I would say that as a testimonial to the effectiveness, I know it was effective in Kansas City. I saw it work. We'd never been in Austin, Texas. Purple Guys brand had never been pushed in Austin, Texas. We turned the program on in that market within 90 days. I want to say it was within 40 days. Like the chief revenue officer was kind of blown away. We started getting inbound leads. We actually closed new business because of the campaigns within 90 days in a brand new market where we had never been. That's the kind of stuff. There's an art to SEO and Google pay-per-click. There's a reason firms exist just to do that, like Phil's team, because it changes and moves all the time, because Google can change its algorithm whenever they want. So they got to stay up to speed on that. I was never going to do that, never. Even when I was running it, and I ran it for almost a decade, I was running the same old thing, and it was working well enough that I kept doing it, kept spending the money. I knew once I had Phil's team in place, they were staying on top of it, because I could see the results, and I measured them every single month. And again, it's one of those things, if it's working, you just pour gas on it, and that was part of what I did with Phil's team. Would I recommend them? I think it's a no-brainer. Totally no-brainer. The structure that they have, they're not asking you to lock in for any giant length of time. I would say you should give it at least 6 months, because I think that's what it takes to wrap your arms around stuff and really see the needle move. We saw it move in 90 days. In my head, I was committed to a 6-month run, because you got to give people time to get used to your way of doing things. Everybody's got a slightly different business development model. Their salespeople are a little different. The website's probably going to have to get tweaked. Do you have the right downloads and lead capture type of things out there? I would say my only regret around Kansas City Web Design is I didn't hire them sooner. Really, ultimately, is my only regret is I didn't plug in with Phil's team sooner.